The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network. Yeah, tell me I'm on. Home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Hi there, it's Uncle Ron Chuckett. How are you? Welcome to the program for this 4th day of February 2025. I think that the cold, which is lingering on, is pretty much gone, and so we're with you today, tomorrow, and or Friday for live baseball action, and we'll be doing a NFL Championship replay with Mike in the truck on Thursday night. Today we have for you one team that we highly expect that by the end of this replay will be well in the thick of it for the National League pennant, and that's the Cincinnati Redlegs, and they are the Redlegs in 1956. Thanks to the Red Scare, the Cincinnati Ball Club changed from red to Redlegs, and I forget when they actually became the Reds again. So it is the Cincinnati Redlegs and the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs aren't going to go anywhere this year. They are 2-5. The Redlegs are also 2-5. Not a great start for the team from Cincinnati. So first look at Frank Robinson, Ted Kluszewski, and all that for you. So the first of three this week, Yankees and Red Sox tomorrow. The more things change, the more they stay the same. It's yours next, right here on Retro Sports Network. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1956. Today from Crosley Field in Cincinnati, Ohio. It is the Cincinnati Redlegs and the Chicago Cubs. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. It is a rainy day in Cincinnati, Ohio. As we get set for this one, Johnny Klipstein gets the call for the Redlegs. 0-1 so far on the year. He's 29 years old. Fastball at 85 and a fly ball pitcher. Johnny, one of the aces here for the Redlegs, got beat by the Cubs up in Chicago on the 21st of April. So 6 days ago, as we play the games of April 27th, not Friday night, April 27th, or Friday afternoon, 1956. In that loss, he went 8 innings, 145 pitches, 8 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He gave up a homer. He walked 6 and struck out 2. I am feeling better. Yep, same thing. All kind of fighting the cold. Somehow my wife got away with not getting sick, John. Although when she's going to work, it's N95 masks and PPEs. Where she works, they had the flu bug go through. Thankfully, it wasn't that. It was just a nasty little head cold. Klipstein 0-1 on the replay, a 5.63 ERA. And here's how the Cubs will line up for you this afternoon. Don Hoke will lead off at third base. Solly Drake is in center. He'll bat second. D. Fondy at first will go third. Ernie Banks cleans up at short. Walt Morin in right will bat fifth. Monty Irvin in left will bat sixth. Gene Baker at second will bat seventh. Hobie Landreth behind the plate goes eighth. And Russ Meyer gets the call on the mound. Klipstein can go 135 pitches on his dance card. Defensively for Cincinnati, the outfield Stan Palys, P-A-L-Y-S. A 4 and a 2 in left. Gus Bell, you know his son, Buddy, and such, is in center. He's a 6 and a 6 there. And Wally Post is a 5 and a 7 in right. So no Kluszewski and no Frank Robinson today in the lineup. Ray Jablonski is a 5 at third. Roy McMillan, a 10 and a 10 at short. That's pretty good. Johnny Temple is an 8 and 9 at second. And George Crow is a 3 at first. The battery, Ed Bailey behind the plate. He's a 7 and a 7. And Klipstein is an 8 on the mound with a .981 fielding percentage. Hope stepping in at 143 on the replay. That is a Topps card, I believe, in the picture. A home run and 4 RBI. Again, rainy night or rainy afternoon here in Cincinnati. 63 degrees. What little wind there is blowing out to right center at 5 miles an hour. Hoke sends this one to Temple, who makes a diving stop behind the bag at second. 1 out. So Johnny's fielding is certainly a Temple there. And now I'll bring up Solly Drake, hitting .267 on the real year, .256, 2 homers and 15 RBI. So, John, hopefully you have avoided getting the crud. It's not fun. Pitch to Drake. That is a ground ball to McMillan, who throws to first, and Drake is out on a bang-banger. 2 out for DeFondy, off to a slow start, 231. 3 for 13. This is game 8 for both teams. And again, we should be with you all 3 regularly scheduled days this week. Pitch to Fondy. That is a ground ball to short. McMillan, second verse, same as the first, and that'll take care of business. Cubs go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Half an inning in the books, no score. Russ Meyer. Oh, Rowdy is 33. He throws a fastball at 84 and is a fly ball pitcher. Not a good pitcher at all. 1-6 in real life with an earned run average of .632. He beat these Reds up in Chicago 6 days ago in a 5-3 win. In fact, he beat who he's pitching against today, Clipstein. 5 innings, 96 pitches, 2 hits, 2 unearned runs, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So no record and no ERA on the replay. Here's a lineup for Cincinnati. How you doing, Scotty? Hopefully Scotty's staying well out on the West Coast. Johnny Temple leads off at second. Stan, I'm going to go with Pallies, is in left. He'll bat second. Gus Bell in center goes third. Ray Jablonski cleans up at third base. George Crow at first will bat fifth. Wally Post in right, and he had 36 home runs, goodness gracious, will bat sixth. Ed Bailey behind the plate goes seventh. Roy McMillan at short will bat eighth, and Clipstein on the mound will go ninth. Meyer can give you 90 pitches. This is a bullpen game for how you doing, Gus? And thanks for the membership. I do appreciate that. Big Dave, glad there. And Gus has survived. It was 20. Gus, the poor wonder dog, survived the minus 26 degrees in Saranac Lake. Was it Sunday morning or yesterday morning? We had 6 below here, and we're not that far from you. But 26 below in Saranac Lake. The defense for the Cubbies, Monty Irvin is a 7 and a 4 in left. Solly Drake is a 4 and a 3 in center. Walt Morin is a 5 and a 7 in right. Don Hoke is a 4 at third. Ernie Banks at the tender age of 25, a 7 and a 7 at short, which makes me want to go drink a 7 and a 7. Gene Baker, an 8 and an 8 in second. DeFondy, a 5 at first. Dogs don't stay outside all that long. No, they don't. You have a cat too, Paul? Hobie Landreth behind the plate is a 5 and a 5, and Meyer is a 7 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. Johnny Temple stepping in at 241, a homer and 2 RBI. Digging in, Meyer is ready, and here's the pitch. That is into left field for a base hit. So Temple, at this temple of Cincinnati baseball, has made a great play in a single, and that's just a start. Don Hoke couldn't quite get there, and that's the first base runner of the ballgame. Stan Pallies, 1 for 3. Part-time player, 12 for 53 in real life, 2 homers and 5 RBI. Yeah, you do. Gus doesn't care for the cat, but our old girl dog, Xena, oh, she's a warrior princess. How about that? And the boy cat get along pretty well. I was going to say on mornings like that when it's 26 below zero. There's one the dogs just want to use the litter box, right? Pitch to Pallies. There's a base hit past Banks into left field. Temple around third. Around second, and the throw goes into third. Not in time, so runners on the corners for Gus Bell. Hitting .250 on a young year with 2 doubles and 4 RBI. You grew up in that area, right? I don't want to get into the next little thing there if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah, Jamie, I feel a lot better. It's not completely gone. It's kind of at the lingering stage at this point. If it wasn't for the fact I had a meeting yesterday at this time, I would have been able to go. So pitch to Bell. That's into right center, and Drake will turn and watch it go. So Gus Bell hits his first of the year, and the Redlegs jump out to a 3-0 lead. Here it is again. That was kind of a meatball over the middle of the plate, and there wasn't anything Drake could do except for listen to Kendrick Lamar rap songs and turn to watch it go. Catskills, okay. Thanks, Jay. Big Dave, I live halfway. The street I live on bisects the city in half, so any emergency vehicle goes by. When I was a kid, Jablonski, by the way, at .240, 2 homers and 8 RBI already. Channel 5, our NBC station, based out of Plattsburgh, a transmitter for years on North Pole. Guy by the name of Bird Bedan did the weather. And he was one of those old school guys that, I think he was probably the station engineer and some other things and called up the Air Force base that was there and read the weather. And I got to know about places such as Paul Smith's College in Old Forge, New York, stuck in the middle of the Adirondacks, because for a lot of the winter, they'd be the cold spots in the country. 35, 40 below zero. It's 67 degrees in Orlando, but in Old Forge, New York, it's 39 below zero. That was the point of all that. Pitch to Jablonski. That's into right. Back goes Morin, and Walt will make the catch. 1 away for George Crow. Maybe they're coming for... You got about 18 inches of snow the last few days. The dogs are really happy about that. I bet they are. We got a couple here. Burlington seems to be in the snow desert. George Crow is 0 for 2 so far on the replay. Wow. In limited duty in 56, 144 at-bats and 10 homers. He hit .250 and drove in 23. So, Jay, glad to have you along. Pitch to Crow, and that's a walk. So, Meyer, off like a herd of thunder and turtles. 1 out for Wally Post. Wally hitting .280, a home run and 2 RBI. 83% of you think the Red Legs will win this one. Struck him out. Meyer got him. He checked his swing on an 0-2 fastball 2 away. For Ed Bailey, Ed 1 for 4. The lefty does have a double and an RBI. That is a little dribbler down to third. Hoke will grab it. Snap throw to Fondy at first. Bailey running, and he beat it out on the bang-banger. No argument, and here's Roy McMillan. Roy hitting 143 with an RBI. He has walked 6 times the first week of the year. Pitch to McMillan, runners go. That is to Hoke in the hole at third. Throw to Fondy, and McMillan is out, and they'll take care of business. However, the home run from Bell puts a 3 spot on the board for Cincinnati on 4 runs. They've left on 2, and after 1, 3-0 Reds. So Ernie Banks, Walt Morin, and Monty Irvin to face Klipstein here in the second. And so I've reached the stage with this head cold where things are now, if I'm projecting with the voice, are echoing around in my head pretty good. With my ear, the canals in the ear kind of still plugged. I sound in my own head like a distorted speaker, which is what your speakers sound like when I sing. Ernie Banks at 296, 2 homers and 5 RBI. Big Dave had a good time in Burlington about 20 years ago. I wish I'd known you then. We could have had a drink for a USA Rugby Regional Playoff game. At least the pictures. Apparently you had a couple of good drinks without me. Pitch to Banks, struck him out. Chased a 2-2 fastball, 1 out for Walt Morin. Hitting .222, no homers, and 3 RBI. Rugby's a pretty big deal up here. Paul went down to Rutland. I grew up in that area. Where'd you play rugby in Rutland? Pitch to Walt. That is up the middle for a base hit. And McMillan should have made that play, and he didn't. First hit for the Cubs. And that'll bring up Monty Irvin. Irvin hitting .200 with an RBI and 3 runs scored. Cubs 2-5 as I hear more emergency vehicles. The rain has stopped here. Doesn't mean I can see clearly, but the rain is gone. Pitch to Monty. There is a little ground ball down to first. Crow goes to McMillan for 1, and that's all they're going to get, as the throw back to first is not in time. So 3-6 on the fielder's choice, 2 out for Gene Baker, who's off to a torrid start. 385, a home run, and 3 RBI. I'm sure Paul has seen this a number of times now. The historic Hotel Saranac, I'm sure it's now LEDs that light that thing up as opposed to neon. But if it is neon, they seem to think my wife is a good-looking woman, because the rest of the Hotel Saranac sign has burnt out. And so if you go drive past it at night now, it just, again, yep, and that's in the chat, it's Hot Sarah. If you add an H, that would be my wife. But yes, Hot Sarah indeed. That is funny. Pitch to Baker. Gene tries to drop one down, and it's a foul. 2 out, and the count is 0-2. Yep, Channel 5 does love to show it. I see it on my Facebook feed every couple days. It's interesting that it's in blue neon, too. The 0-2 to Baker. Popped up. Bailey, lots of room behind home plate. And that will go to the screen and be out of play. 0-2 the count. That is in the right. Wally Post moving over in the alley will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Cubs do not score. They get a hit, no errors. Bottom of the second here, Cincinnati 3, Chicago nothing. So, Jay, if you're still with us, you play these games at all? Johnny Klipstein, 0 for 3 in his first start up in Chicago with 2 strikeouts. Oh, the Catskill Cougars. Jay sees Adirondack's name, and all you're thinking about is, so I take it, Jay, you're from whereabouts in New York? Pitch to Klipstein, popped up. Baker in the foul territory on the first base side, and Gene will make the play. 1 away for Johnny Temple. Opening 9 for Meyer. 37 pitches, an inning and a third. 4 hits. The home run to Bell. A walk and a strikeout. All 3 runs are earned. Temple singled and scored. You're in Newburgh. Oh, you're way down there. Okay. Born in Glens Falls here. Pitch to Temple. Into right center. Drake will make the catch. 2 out. So here's Paley's. Stan singled and scored his first time up. Bear Mountain Bridge. Right? Pitch to Stan. Bouncer to Fondy. D takes it in the bag, and that will retire the side. It'll be the Reds that go in order this time around. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the third. 3-0 Cincinnati. So Landreth, Meyer, and Hoke to face Klipstein here. A Hotel Saranac, the memories. Okay, Big Dave. So many great places to visit in Saranac Lake and Lake Placid, and for 20 years I would go there for rugby and never saw any of them. Maybe one day with your kids. That'd be awesome. Yep. Newburgh is a nice little village. Bobby Landreth hitting .438 with 2 RBI. Klipstein delivers. Ground ball to Temple over to Crow for the out. 1 away. Here's Meyer. Russ 0 for 1. He grinded into a double play in his 5 innings up at Wrigley. 1 for 12 on the real year. The last time I was in Lake Placid was Christmas week, 1978, and they were building the ski jumps and doing the bobsled runs up at Mount Van Hoburg for the 1980 Winter Olympics. And one of those curious things about having literally the Olympics in your backyard, is if that would be the case today, is that was the year I lived in New Mexico. And we didn't have a TV. I didn't see any of it. Pitch to Meyer. There's a base hit into left. How about that? And so Meyer reaches on to single. Second hit for the Cubs. Here's Don Hoke, who's 0 for 1. Klipstein, 30 pitches, 9 batters, 2 in the third, 2 hits and a strikeout. You should. It comes with the 30-day money-back guaranteed. Jay plays OOTP. Yeah, I think you'd like it. Back to rugby. You're looking to see what Marco's... Oh, is Marco putting together a rugby game? There is one from Lambourne, by the way. I'm sure it's a PDF. And, yep, Action PC's baseball's a good game. Meyer on first. Hoke grounds one to Jablonski, who runs in, and he's just going to eat it. So first and second, and 1 out for Solly Drake, who's 0 for 1. Bertie Timmons, the manager of the Redlegs, is from Burlington, Vermont. Pitch to Drake. There is a liner to left, and that will drop in front of Paley's. That's going to bounce all the way to the wall. Meyer will score. Hoke stops on third, and Solly's got his second double of the year. So the Cubs are on the board. It's now a 3-1 ball game. How you doing, Andrew? Here's D. Fondy. D is 0 for 1. Hoke on third. Drake on second. Cubs threatening here, with the Redlegs up 3-1. That is in the left, and that should tie the game. That will bounce by the scoreboard. Hoke will score. Paley's will throw it home, and Drake is in there safely. And it's a 3-3 ball game. In a league where maybe 2 games might be the difference between a championship and watching Don Larson throw a perfect game on television, these are the games you need to win when you're playing last place teams. Ernie Banks struck out his first time up. That is a stolen base for Fondy. Pitch was called a strike. To throw down to second was not even close, and I wasn't even paying any attention. And Fondy got the steal. A rarity here. So runner on second, 1 out, and a 1-strike count to Ernie Banks. That is in the left. That will drop in for a hit. Fondy rounds third. Paley's will throw it home, and the Cubs take a 4-3 lead. So a 4 spot up for the Northsiders here in the third. Oops, Walt Moore 1 for 1. Now he's 2 for 2 as he ripped that one into center. So Klipstein tried to quick pitch, and old Uncle Ron couldn't keep up. So it's kind of all coming undone for Klipstein here. Monty Irvin 0 for 1. First and second, throw down to third, and Banks steals the bag. Are you kidding me? What a gutsy call by the AI as Ernie Banks steals third. His second steal of the year. So runners on the corners And 1 out now for Monty Irvin. Klipstein has kind of lost his script here in the third. He deals. That is a ground ball to McMillan. They'll concede the run to try and get 2. Temple for 1, but Irvin's going to reach, and it's 5-3. I'm looking up at the poll, and it says 88% for the Redlegs. But the Cubs are up 5-3. Here's Gene Baker. He's 0 for 1. Klipstein pitching now like a caribou caught in the headlights. That is a ground ball to Crow, and that will do it. However, a huge inning for Chicago. 5 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. And after 2.5 here at Crosley Field, it's the Cubs 5, the Redlegs 3. So Gus Bell, Jablonski, and Crow to face Meyer here in the third. Gus, that 3-run homer in the first that the Reds thought would stand up. It has not. Walked him. Second walk from Meyer. Here's Ray Jablonski. Ray 0 for 1. That is into left center. Back goes Drake, and he'll make the catch. He climbed the cliff and was able to corral that. Not much of a warning track out there by the scoreboard. I don't know. Someone will tell me what the name of that was out there. In Boston, it was Duffy's Cliff. It was Ty's. Well, Ty's Hill wasn't in play in Houston. But in the day and age before really warning tracks, you got that little incline out there to let you know the wall was coming up. And Drake found it by that scoreboard in left center. George Crow walked his first time up. That is a line drive to Banks, and Ernie will snare it. 2 out for Wally Post, who struck out his first time up. How was your guys' weekend? Center field, right to Drake. And that'll do. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the fourth. It's the Cubs 5, the Redlegs 3. So Landreth, Meyer, and Hoke to face Klipstein here in the fourth. Hobie 0 for 1. That is a ground ball to Jablonski. Pat throws across the way. 1 out. For Russ Meyer, Russ scored in the third. He singled. He only had 1 hit in real life. There is a line drive to Temple, and Johnny will snare it. 2 away. For Don Hoke, Klipstein at second 18 wasn't very good. 655 pitches overall, 3 2/3. Snow coming, I think, here too, Andrew. He really wants to keep me at home between the cold and all that. 3 2/3 for Johnny. 7 hits, all 5 runs are earned, and a strikeout. Oak singled and scored in the third. There is a ground ball foul, third base side. Somebody from Covington made the play. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Got him. So a better inning here for Klipstein. No runs, no hits. The strikeout ends the inning after 3.5. Chicago 5, Cincinnati 3. So here's some stories and stats for you. American League, Kansas City is in first place. Cleveland 1 back. The Red Sox 4 3. Again, you'll see them tomorrow against the Yankees. In the National League, Milwaukee 5 1. Brooklyn 5 2, and the Cardinals are 5 3. Bill Bruton hitting .481. Chet Simmons and Warren Spahn haven't given up an earned run yet. Frank Thomas from the Pirates, Willie Mays of the Giants, and Eddie Matthews have all hit 5 home runs. Don't you love the numbers from April baseball? Cardinals as a team are hitting .305. Ed Bailey singled his first time up. In the left center, Banks going out, Irvin coming in, and that will drop into nowhere's in no man's land, and that's a single. So that's the 5th hit for the Redlegs. Here's McMillan, who's 0 for 1. Bailey on first. Clipstein on deck. Meyer deals. Base hit, left center field. Bailey is on his way to third. McMillan will hold with a single. And now you pretty much take the bunt out of Clipstein's hand. Although they play for it, Hoke and Fondy playing in. They will try to advance McMillan. With a bunt. Bunt is down and it's foul, and so they'll have to swing away. Clipstein nearly reached, but it just rolled foul. Scott Howard said, D. Scott says, we have a good rugby history here in Bellingham, Washington, from the Chuckanup Bay Geoducks. Okay. Nationally ranked in the 70s to Washington Western Washington Union's men and women's, winning the Rugby Sevens national championships in their division last year. See, softball has restarted. Not sure I want to be hitting a metal bat in February, even in the Pacific Northwest. Bailey on third, 2-strike count to Clipstein, McMillan on first. Meyer deals, and that's a ground ball to third. Hope. Bailey will try and score. Baker for 1 and Fondy for 2. So Bailey will score, but it is one of those, we'll concede the run to turn 2, and that's what happened there. It's a 5-4 game. Johnny Temple, 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. Russ Meyer, 18 batters, 72 pitches, 3 2/3, 4 runs, all earned. 6 hits, the home run to Bell, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Chuckanup Bay. Sounds like something that would be out of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Pitch to Temple. There's a ground ball to Banks. Ernie gobbles it up, throws to first, and that will retire the side. Redlegs get a run on 2 hits, no errors. We go to the 5th. It's the Cubs 5, Cincinnati 4. Gooey Ducks. Big Clams. Oh, it's not Geoducks. The Chuckanup Bay Gooey Ducks. See, that now reminds me more of moose and squirrel. Here's Solly Drake. Solly doubled. He's 1 for 2. He's driven in a run and scored. Today they'd be calling the geocachers, wouldn't they? Pitch to Drake. There's a ground ball to McMillan, who gobbles it up behind the bag and throws it away. So McMillan makes the error. Drake will go to second as Keith Olbermann's mom gets plunked. We keep trying to move her to the third base side, but she just insists that she likes to sit there. So Drake on second on the air. First error for Cincinnati. D. Fondy, 1 for 2. He's driven into, stole a base, and scored. First RBIs of the year. Clipstein not covering himself in clover so far. Did he hit that ball as the crow flies out? Yes. How you doing, Dave? Here's a ground ball to Clipstein. Throws to Temple. Fondy retired. Drake goes to third. 1 out for Ernie Banks. Ernie has an RBI single. Stole third base. Only stole 6 bases all year. He steals third. And scored a run. Struck him out. That's 3. A 1-2 fastball got him swinging. So 2 out here, top of the 5th. Here's Walt Morin. Before Walt Batted before I could tell you he was 2 for 2. Single twice. Walked him. So first and third, 2 out for Monty Irvin. Monty 0 for 2. Does have an RBI. And now is driven in 2 on the replay. Cubs lead 5-4. Irvin into left field. Paley's going back. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Halfway home on a Tuesday afternoon here in Burlington. 24 degrees and windy. They haven't caught me yet. Chicago 5, Red Legs 4. If you joined us late, I'm pretty much over the cold. Doesn't sound it, but I'm pretty much over the cold. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Cubs. 4 runs, 6 hits, an error for the Red Legs. Here's how he got here. Gus Bell, a 3-run homer. A mammoth shot in the first to make it 3-0 Cincinnati. Then the Cubs got a 5 spot on the board in the third. They send 9 to the plate. Solly Drake with a double to score the pitcher Russ Meyer to make it 3-1. Then DeFondy with a 2 RBI single to make it a 3-3 game. Ernie Banks with a single to make it 4-3. He scored DeFondy. And then Monty Irvin with the fielder's choice to make it 5-3. Moment ago, Johnny Klipstein with a fielder's choice to make it 5-4. Chicago. The rugby pitch is on Marble Street, okay? We had our post-game social somewhere in the middle of the village. Excuse me. Russ Meyer. 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned. A homer. He's walked 2 and struck out 1. Klipstein, 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, all earned. A walk and 3 strikeouts. You know, there seems to be a pattern to these rugby stories. And they involve drinking wheat and hop-based beverages. I'm not quite sure what the heck that one might be. Paley's is 1 for 2. Stan has a single and a run scored as we start the bottom of the 5th. Should be the last inning for Meyer. He is due to bat third in the 6th. Meyer starts the inning. There is a chopper down to Hoke at third. Don has it. Throws across the way. Fondy. Nope. Infield hit. So the 7th hit. What happens in Rut Vegas stays in Rut Vegas. I should know. I have plenty of family down there. Gus Bell. 3-run homer in the first. Then drew a walk. 1 for 1. That is into right center. Moore will pick it up on a hop. And it will be first and second. Nobody out for Jablonski. Ray is 0 for 2. So, yes, Todd B., this is what Vin Scully would sound like if he was suffering from a head cold, which would come from being next to a drafty baseboard in an apartment complex in the Bronx. As I sit there underneath my Philco radio as a kid, as the sound of Guy Lombardo and his orchestra showering down on me as I eat my saltines and eat and drink a glass of Dairy Lee milk. Yep. Pitch to Jablonski. First and second are the runners. Drake makes the catch for the out, and the runners will hold. George Crow, 1 out. George walked and is 0 for 1. Meyer really now kind of in the tired stage of his game. Landreth and Meyer have a word. Russ from the stretch. That is a chopper down to Baker. He goes to Banks for 1 and Fondy for 2, and so Meyer's day will be done. He does go 5, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. We go to the 6th here at Crosley Field. Cubs 5, Cincinnati 4. So Baker, Landreth, and Meyer's spot to face Clipstein here in the 6th. The Reds, along with the Pirates, are two teams that wore vested uniforms. Although I think even Ted Glazewski would wear something that was even a more torn cutoff underneath a red, with a red sweater underneath. The Pirates would do that with a black shirt or a black sweater. I don't think the Indians were doing that in '56. Gene Baker's 0 for 2. Big Dave's team followed this philosophy. We may not win the game, but you will win the social. You may not win the game, but you may not remember at the same time. Paul says, we always plan on winning both. Pitch to Baker. There's a high ground ball to Temple. Clipstein goes to cover, takes the underhand for the out, 1 away. For Hobie Landreth is 0 for 2. That's funny. And I'm sure places like Rut, Vegas, Burlington, or what have you, just loved it when rugby tournaments rolled into town. I mean, everyone's got a cellar full of Jenny they want to get rid of, right? Pitch to Landreth, and Hobie draws the walk. So let's see what the Cubs do with Meyer here. 1 out. If Meyer stays in the game, 1 for 2. Singled and scored in the 3rd. The hill at Crosley was called the Terrace. Yep. And you can even kind of see it in this picture. This is the stock one that comes for Crosley Field with the scoreboard and stuff. It was just easier to have an incline. Actually, that terrace is in right field. I can kind of see it. I forgot who came up with a warning track. Todd B is so old that his transistor radio was a cherished asset as a kid. And that Jim King will pinch hit. We did a Herb Score game the last time we were here, Todd. Jim King does not have a pinch hit. 0 for 5 on the replay. Into center field. Back goes Bell, who will make the catch, and Landreth will have to go back. 2 out for Hogue. Clipstein, 27 batters, 95 pitches, 5 2/3, 7 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Hogue 1 for 3, has singled, scored, and struck out. 5-4 Cubs. 2 out, top the 6th. Right center field, Bell ran a long way and hauled it in. So there you go. No runs, no hits, no errors. Cubs have left on 5. Redlegs have left on 4. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Turk Lone coming into pitch. And this is a double switch. So Lone will be penciled in the 1 hole as the pitcher. And, oh goody, Winseniak is now the 3rd baseman. He is Edwin Seniak is a 3 there at 3rd and has the offensive firepower of me at the plate. So Wally Post is 0 for 2. Lone has already made 3 relief appearances. 2 against the Reds. And you can see whether or not Turk Lone's nose has been manicured properly or not with that picture. He hasn't pitched in a week. He actually was the last reliever used for Russ Meyer in that game on the 20th. He went 2 innings, 40 pitches, 2 hits, a solo homer, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. So overall, yeah, Herb was a great broadcaster. 5 1/3 for Lone, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 solo shots, and they both came against the Redlegs. He has walked 2 and struck out 6. He is 1-0 on the replay with an earned run average of .338 and a save. Turk is 32, throws a fastball at 90, and is a ground ball pitcher. Wally Post is 0 for 2 in the strikeout. D. Scott Howard's last rugby game he went to went straight to his local pub after, and the referee was already there sipping a brew. He played for Seattle's pro team. Here's a strikeout. Lone got him to foul tip it in the glove, and all this rugby talk is brought to you by the American Liver Association, because if you drink that much, think about your poor liver. The American Liver Association does. Ed Bailey is 2 for 2. He has singled twice and scored. That's funny. That's in the right. Back goes Morin, and Walt will turn and watch it go. Ed Bailey has tied this game at 5 on the home run to right field. That's Ed's first home run of the year. This red team is blessed with a lot of power. Goodness gracious. So Turk Lone blows the win. 11 pitches deep. Roy McMillan 1 for 2 today with a single. So 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Chicago. And they have left on 5. Red Legs, 5 runs, 9 hits, an error, and they have left on 4. That is in the right center. Drake will play that nearly off the wall, and McMillan is on as a go-ahead run, 1 out in scoring position. Now I should be smart and pinch hit here. What are my options? I got a couple good ones. We could go with who can hit off a Lone? Who can hit a righty? Who can hit a righty? So here is Ted Kluszewski. Big clue. Hitting .357, 3 home runs, and 5 RBI. In 28 at-bats, he has scored 7 times. Does not have a pinch hit. 5-5 the score. And he will come into play for George Crow, I would imagine. Pitch to Big Clue. Nope, they're not. He draws the 4-pitch walk. Yep, Cubs, one of those rare franchises that had 2 Turks play for him. Turk Wendell being the other. And those 2 Turks would tell you, as Johnny Temple steps in, 1 for 3. A single and a run score. Again, Turk Lone and Turk Wendell would take great pride, Todd B., in telling you that it is indeed Istanbul and not Constantinople, because it's no one's business but the Turks. Pitch to Temple, up the middle. Baker has it. Bag himself for 1. Throw to Fondy. They got him. No, they didn't. It was late. Temple thought he was out. He turned and was called safe. So first and third, 2 out. For Paley's, and now probably this is where you would go with a double switch. So Stan 2 for 3 today, has singled twice and scored a run. Pitch from Lone after Landreth has a word. There's a ground ball to Winciniak, and he can't make a play. It bounced off his glove. McMillan will score. It's 6-5 Cincinnati. So Eddie makes an error. Here's Gus Bell. Gus has singled and hit a 3-run homer in the first. Now is driven in 7 on the year. So Temple on second, Paley's or Pally's on first, and Cincinnati is already now up 6-5. Clipstein might get the win by default here. Ground ball to Baker. Over to first, and that will retire the side. So we go to the 7th. 2 runs on 2 hits. And an error, and after 6, it's the Redlegs 6, the Cubs 5. So Klaczewski's day is done. We're going to go with Hirsch Freeman. And he will bat in the 9 hole. Hirsch is the fireman or longman for the Redlegs. 14-5 on the year, or on the real year. A 3.40 ERA. He pitched 64 times, all out of the pen. 18 non-existent saves, 108 2/3 innings, 112 hits. Excuse me. 44 runs, 41 earned. Just 2 home runs. Walked 35 and struck out 51. The other young Turk ran off, and Rod Stewart wrote a song about it. Young hearts, be free tonight. Solly Drake 1 for 3 with a double, an RBI and a run score. Time is on your side. So 6-5 Redlegs up here as we start the 7th. Pitch to Drake. That's up the middle. McMillan has it. Throws to Crow, and Drake is out on a bang-banger. For D. Fondy, D 1 for 2. He has driven in 2, singled, scored, and stole a base. Speaking of musical things, today is Alice Cooper's 77th birthday, right? Pitch to Fondy. Dribbled off the bat, but that's going to roll foul first base side. And the count is 2-2. That is in the left. That's going to go all the way in the alley. Bell couldn't get a good start on it, and Fondy's into second with his first double of the year. So no one was going to accuse this one of being a pitcher's duel. Here's Ernie Banks. Ernie, 1 for 3. He has singled, driven in a run, stole third base, and scored. Yeah, Paul, I'm not surprised at that. Alice Cooper puts on the best concert, hands down. One of my favorite pictures I've ever seen on Facebook is the picture of Jean Stapleton, dressed up as a middle-aged goth lady, standing next to Alice Cooper. And if you think about it, because we're all of that same age, Edith Bunker and Goth go to an Alice Cooper concert. What do you think Archie would say? Jeez, Edith, you gonna listen to that noise? Get me another beer before you go. That's true. Alice Cooper used to babysit Keanu Reeves. Alice Cooper pitched to Banks. There's a base hit in the left. Fondy will round third and score, and the Cubs have tied this game up at 6. On the RBI single by Ernie Banks. Alice Cooper and Groucho Marx were neighbors back in the mid-70s. Walt Morin, by the way, 2 for 2. He has singled twice and walked. Groucho, being older, suffered from insomnia, and so he'd call Alice, and Alice would bring over a few Budweisers, and they'd sit there and watch movies all night and have a couple drinks, maybe even play some cards while they before Groucho fell asleep. You imagine that? What an education for Alice Cooper. And yeah, him and Glenn Campbell were the best of friends. Both great musicians and great golfers. I mean, Alice, I believe, I don't know if he still does, but for years played at Pebble Beach and all the other pro-ams on the PGA Tour. Walt Moore 2 for 2. That's a base hit. Pass McMillan. Jablonski with a bad play. Paley's is going to throw this to third. And the throw, they got Banks at third. A good throw from Paley, so Moore has his third hit. But there's 2 out now in a 6-6 game. So Freeman not pitching all that well. He got a break, though, on that good throw to retire Ernie Banks. Monty Irvin is 0 for 3 with an RBI. Alex was a golfing buddy of Willie Nelson. There's a fly ball to right field. Post stretch time. Jim Brosnan coming in to pitch. Cubs and Redlegs tied at 6. So Willie Nelson and Alice Cooper in the same golf group? Was it sponsored by a weed eater? Was Snoop there? Ray Jablonski is 0 for 3. Pitch to Jablonski. Bronston is the new pitcher for the Cubs. We'll set that up in a second because Fondy can't make the ground ball play at first. And that's a second error for Chicago. So the go-ahead run is on, nobody out. Jim Brosnan, the professor, is 27. Fastball at 87 and a ground ball pitcher. Making his 4th appearance of the year, does not have a record. Pitched 2 days ago against the Cardinals in an 8-1 loss. In fact, he hasn't pitched in a win so far this year. Inning in a third against St. Louis, 26 pitches, a walk, and a strikeout. So, Jim, the bespectacled one, 3 1/3, 2 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. So the go-ahead run is Jablonski. Here's Crow. George has grunted into a double play and walked. He's 0 for 2. Walked him. So first and second now and nobody out. For Wally Post, Wally is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Did you ever caddy for anybody at Oak Hill, Dave? That we would know? Outside of Pesky Pole. Star quarterback from Rochester, New York. First and second, nobody out. Pitch to Post up the middle. Banks has it. Baker for 1, and that's it. What a stab by Ernie Banks. He underhanded it to Baker. And there's one away for Ed Bailey, who homered his last time up. Ed has had himself a day. He is 3 for 3. He has singled twice, solo homer, and scored twice. So Jablonski on third, Post on first. 1 out, 6-6 to score, bottom of the 7th. Popped up, Baker. That's a rainmaker on this cloudy day. Waits, makes the catch, and there's 2 out for Roy McMillan, who was 2 for 3, singled, doubled, and scored. Al supposedly hit his clubs from the rest of the band and played 36 holes a day after going through rehab just to kill all the spare time. Oh, I'm sure. Touring is brutal. Absolutely brutal. I mean, you just all the dead time. Yeah. Dave is not. It doesn't have the connections to get on that course. You've been to a wedding reception there. You do live 2 miles away. That's cool. Jablonski on third, Post on first, McMillan at the plate. Roy 2 for 3, a single, a double, and a run scored. And he walks. So James Bond not pitching all that well. Runners on all the bases. They are full of Cincinnatians. And now I think you got to pinch hit. And so who can hit a righty? And the answer to that is going to be Frank Robinson. Robbie at 207, 2 homers and 4 RBI. He will be staying in the game. So bases loaded, 2 out. And here's the guy that you won at the plate. They walked Glazewski when he pinch hit. Jablonski on third, Post on second, McMillan on first. 6-6 the score, 2 out, bottom of the 7th. There's a ground ball to Banks. Ernie has it. He got a late jump. Robinson's running, and he beat it out. It's an infield single, and the Reds go up 7-6. So he drives in the go-ahead run. 2 out for Temple, who was 1 for 4. He has singled and scored. The par 3 at Augusta is your favorite Action PC golf course. That is a fun course, isn't it? So Post on third, McMillan on second, and Robinson on first for Johnny Temple, who was 1 for 4. That is a ground ball to Baker. He throws to Fondy, and that will do it. So we go to the 8th. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error. After 7, it is Cincinnati 7, Chicago 6. Let's see. Who do we want to pinch hit for here? So Don Gross will come in. And Don is going to be in the position where he's going to hit. And so they will double switch and intentionally put Gross into where he would lead off the inning. But he can go 2 innings, and I think the Reds are going to go on that, should go in that direction. So Robinson stays in the game. He's a 9 and a 5 out there. Gross making his first appearance of 56, 3-0, a 1.95 ERA. He will start 7 games. Did not get a save. I put him in a save situation here. 25 years old, fastball at 88 and a fly ball pitcher. 69 and a third, 69 hits, 25 runs, but only 15 earned. 4 homers, he's walked 20 and struck out 47. Gene Baker 0 for 3. So Gross on to get 6 outs. Pops it up. Bailey. 1 out. For Hobie Landreth, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. Let's see what the Cubs do. And Frank Kellert will pinch hit. Kellert, as a pinch hitter, does not have one. 2 for 15 on the replay with 2 RBI. Frank looks about 60 in that picture, and he's 32 years old. There's a pop-up. McMillan, third base side, foul territory, waiting, running over the pins, makes the catch, 2 out. Let's see what they do with Winseniak. And 0 for 1 on the replay. David NS Railfan. Nope. I am feeling better. Thank you so much. Gross is ready. Here's the pitch. He stays in the game. That's in the right. Wally Post will make the catch. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Jim Bronston staying in the ball game. Don Gross can't really hit, but again, he did his job. After 7.5, no runs, no hits, no errors. Cincinnati 7, Chicago 6. Yeah, he just got done working in the coal mine. Lord, I'm so tired. There is a ground ball to Baker over to Fondy for the out. So again, strategy-wise, you wouldn't do what I did and leave Gross in the game, but you let him try to finish it out, and you want to watch Frank Robinson anyway. Gus Bell, 2 for 3. He has homered. A 3-run shot in the first. Also singled, scored, and walked. In the left field goes the opposite way. Back goes Monty Irvin. And there's 2 out for Ray Jablonski, who's 0 for 4 with a run scored. Pitcher spot Drake and Fondy for the Cubs in the 9th. Jablonski into center. Back goes Drake. Makes the catch, and that'll do. We've played 8. No runs, no hits, and no errors. Top of the 9th, Chicago 1 to tie and 2 to go ahead. And Gross trying to lock it down. Bronsden, actually not a terrible hitter for a pitcher. 182 with 2 runs scored. 3 singles and a double. And Pete Wisenen. Little pinch hit. Pete has a pinch hit home run. 308, 4 homer, or 4 for 13. Also has 2 doubles. So he is a tying run. Gross trying to get 3 outs to get the Red Legs to 3 and 5. On the year, that is into left, and that will drop in front of Robinson. In fact, Robinson has to play it off the scoreboard. And Pete has his 3rd double of the year. So the tying run is already on for Solly Drake, who's a switch hitter. Solly 1 for 4. A double today, an RBI, and a run scored. You're not going to walk him. You got D. Fondy, who has hit the cover off the ball on deck, and then some guy by the name of Banks. So Gross trying to get it done right here. That's in the left. Robinson goes back. He will turn and watch it hit the fence. This game is tied. So Solly Drake blows the save for the Red Legs. It's a 7-7 tie. And here is D. Fondy. And again, they're going to pitch to him. And you'd walk Ernie Banks. Fondy 2 for 3 today. He has single, double, driven in 2, scored twice, and stole a base. Fondy, ground ball to McMillan. Drake will hold, throw to Crow for the out. And there is 1 out. And Ernie Banks, who's 2 for 4, with 2 RBI, a run, and a stolen base of 3rd, no less, gets a free pass. So lefty versus lefty. Here, 1 out for Walt Morin, who was 3 for 3 today. He has singled 3 times and walked as the Cap protests outside. So Drake the go-ahead run on second, and Banks an insurance run on first. Pitch to Morin. Morin is into left center. Back goes Bell. He'll make the catch. So 2 out now for Monty Irvin, who is 0 for 4. Crow, Post, and Bailey for the Reds in the 9th. Left field, Robinson will take care of the inning, and that will do. John Briggs will come in to pitch. Cubs tied this one in the top of the 9th. A run on 2 hits, no errors. Cardiac time here at Crosley, 7-7. John Briggs, absent on pitcher day, 22 years old. In real life, only threw 3 times. And then an earned run average of 169. He pitched 5 days ago in a 10-2 loss and contributed quite heavily to it. Inning and 2/3, 47 pitches, 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned, and a walk. So he sports a healthy ERA of 21.60. Harry Cheedy is the new catcher for the Cubs. He's a 4 and a 3 behind the plate. And Briggs, just a baby at 22. George Crowe is 0 for 2. He has walked twice and grounded into a double play. Reds won to win it. So Wally Post, Ed Bailey, McMillan, and if they need to go that far in this inning, Frank Robinson, who does have an RBI. Pitch to Crowe. There is a bounder to Foundy, who leaps and makes the catch, 1 out. Here's Wally Post. Wally is 0 for 4 today. He has struck out twice. He's eyeing Briggs. I'm not sure the fences here are big enough to contain if Wally should hit one. There's no wind right now and no rain. It is a cloudy afternoon here, 69 degrees here in Cincinnati. Pitch to Post. That's into left center. Back goes Drake, and there's 2 out. So here's Ed Bailey, who is 3 for 4 today. Has homered, singled twice, and scored twice. And he gets hit. So the winning run is on. 2 out for Roy McMillan. Roy 2 for 3 today. He has singled, doubled, scored, and walked. And that got away from Cheedy, but it's a ball. So a 2-2 count now to McMillan. You guys still think the Reds are going to win this? Bailey on first. Briggs deals. McMillan up the middle for a base hit. Bailey on his way to third. The throw is cut off. McMillan will hold, and here comes Frank Robinson. He came in as a pinch hitter and stayed in the game. He can win it right now. I suppose you could walk him, put Johnny Temple in the bat hitter behind him. So Robinson had an RBI single in the 7th. Both teams, 7 runs, 12 hits. The Cubs have 2 errors. The Redlegs have 1 error. Chicago is left on 8, and Cincinnati is left on 9. So Briggs, right now, is in the heart of the frying pan, with Bailey the only runner that matters on third. McMillan pulls up the Adirondack chair at first. Briggs deals, and he struck him out. He took a lot off that pitch, and Robinson was looking fastball all the way and didn't get it. Wowzers, how about that? No runs. The Reds have left on 11 now. A hit and no errors. Freebie baseball. To the 10th we go, 7-7. So Gross gets another inning. Baker, Harry Cheedy, and Wincinek. Gene is 0 for 4. Bonus baseball on a Tuesday. And that was totally gross. Absolutely, Jamie. Pitch to Baker. That is a base hit past McMillan. Robinson will pick it up. Now bring up Cheedy. 0 for 8 on the year. He has struck out 6 times. Drops one down. Bailey can't pick it up, and everybody's going to reach. Excuse me. It was a bunt. It was a fair ball. Bailey went to pick it up. Couldn't find a handle. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. The Cubs got anybody left on the bench? Mixus. But you're going to have to bat Winceniak because you got Briggs on deck. Ed is 0 for 1. Stick Tap Sports Network. I used to play in a summer golf league with a guy that grew up in Texas. When he was a kid, he caddied for Mickey Mantle and Buddy Parker. He had some great stories about the money matches they'd play. I bet he did. All right, so Baker on third, Cheedy on first, 7 up. I like the Sprite in you, Todd B. When Ciniac, fly ball right center, Bell waits for it, will make the catch. Baker goes back to the bag, and nobody moves up. So now you got to pinch hit for John Briggs, who doesn't even have an at-bat. 1 out. And the last guy on the Cubs bench, I'm sure, is coming in here with 1 out in the 10th. Unless they want to pinch hit a pitcher. Yeah, it'll be Mixus. Eddie does not have a pinch hit. 0 for 2 on the year with a K. 239, 9 homers, and 27 RBI. The real-life numbers, Gross gets a sign, runners on first and second, 1 out in the 10th. For the Redlegs, Temple, pinch hitter, and Bell in the bottom of the 10th. Infield fly is called. Temple waits for it. 2 out. For Solly Drake, Solly has doubled twice today. 2 for 5, 2 RBI, and a run scored. I bet those were some great stories. Pitch to Drake, struck him out, so Gross got out of it. Jim Davis coming in to pitch and then starring an episode of Dallas. We go to the bottom of the 10th. No runs, a hit, and an error. Cubs have left on 10. We go to the bottom of the 10th, 7-7. Davis, a lefty, is making his 4th appearance. He is a 4.91 ERA. Those, I said earlier that those were on the Topps cards. That is actually from a Red Man chewing tobacco card. Those were the ones that had the drawings, right? Or paintings. Fastball pitcher at 86. And a fly ball pitcher. He went 2 days ago against the Cardinals in an 8-1 loss. 1 inning, 16 pitches, 2 runs, both earned, and allowed 3 hits. So overall for Davis 3 2/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Yeah, no ghost runners in this, just what's left of my voice there, Todd. Haven't talked nonstop for a long stretch in a week because I've had a head cold and I've been on 1 hour and 17 minutes. So Temple, pitch hitter, and Bell to face Davis here in the bottom of the inning. Johnny 1 for 5 today. A single and a run scored. Davis starts. That's into right center. Drake 1 out. So who can hit a lefty? It's going to be Smokey Burgess. Smokey, the backup catcher, does not have a pinch hit attempt this year. He does have 2 solo homers, hitting .292. So the split's working in reverse here. Pitch to Burgess, popped up. Cheaty, bang, bang. Waits for it. 2 out. For Gus Bell, Gus 2 for 4. Homered in the first, and it's driven in 3. Into right center, Morin in the alley, gone! He walked it off. I didn't think that was hit hard enough. He hit it to the right of that sign, and Gus Bell has won this game for the Redlegs. That's how you do it. And the Redlegs go to 3-5. And Gus sends Gus the Wonder Dog outside happy. So 3 hours and 33 fake minutes. Get the right column, Ron. 8 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors for Cincinnati. They go to 3-5. They left on 11. Cubs, 7 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors, and they left on 10. Gus Bell is going to be your digital dice MVP, 3 for 5 today. He homered twice and drove home 4, including the game winner a moment ago. Turk Lone blew the save. Jim Davis got J.R. Ewing. 2/3 of an inning, a hit, the solo homer by Bell, and a run. Russ Meyer, 5 innings in the loss. 8 hits, 4 runs, all earned, a homer, also to Gus Bell. 2 walks and a strikeout. Brosnan and Briggs also pitched for Chicago. Klipstein got the start. 6 innings, 7 hits. Thank you, Scotty. 5 runs, all earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 98 pitches. Both starters have plus staff. Freeman blew the save, 1 inning, 3 hits, a walk or a run, it was earned, and then Gross again blew the save but picked up the win. 3 innings, 3 hits, a run, a walk, and a strikeout. Yankees, Red Sox from Fenway tomorrow. The rest of this Friday in baseball for you. Red Sox beat the Yankees in 10, 4-3. Hurd, 1-1. Jim Constanti, 0-1. Don Budden, 2 for 4. Hits 2 home runs. Cleveland loses to Detroit, 3-2. Virgil Trucks picks up his first win. The night they drove old Cleveland down. Cal McLeish showing 1. Maxwell, 3 for 3. Roger Craig, a 2-hit shutout, struck out 6. Beats the Pirates 4-0. Klein, 0-2 now on the year. Giants 5, Phillies 4. Al Worthington, the one that didn't sell the cars, 2-0. Hoymeyer, 0-2. Willie Mays has hit 6 home runs now, 3 for 3 with a steal. Washington continues its great start, 11-7 win at home against Baltimore. Griggs, 1-1. Dorr, 0-1. Olsen, 3 for 3 with a double. And last but not least, Billy Pierce throws a 3-hitter. The White Sox shut out the A's 1-0. Pierce picks up his first win. Art Ditmar falls to 1-1. And Larry Doby, 1 for 2, a double, and 2 walks. Yeah, the Nats are looking good. All right, we're with you. Sing us out. I don't think so. We're with you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we'll start the day tomorrow with a game or 2. 1-2. It'll be Bob Turley for the Yankees and someone for the Red Sox, and we'll have that one for you at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific tomorrow. Until then, I'm Ron Chuck. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody.